Are my teeth real? No, everything about me is fake. I'm actually a bot. No, I think a lot of streamers get compliments on their teeth because one, our teeth are not usually this white in person, I don't think. It's because of all the lights, the cameras, and I would just say it's mostly just fucking lighting. It makes your teeth a lot whiter than it really is. All right, so yeah, today we're gonna check out Law and Crime. They did a sidebar. They interviewed Spicy Draco. As you guys may know, that's Morgan Tremaine. Can you guys hear banging noise, by the way? They're hammering something right now. I don't know, it's like driving me nuts. Damn it! It's so fucking loud.
For quite some time, and he's with us now. He is one of those people who came in toward the end of the trial, and he was a hit. He was what we would call a trial watcher favorite, Morgan Tremaine. Morgan, welcome to Sidebar. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, no problem. I know you guys
Right, who was your guys' favorite witness during the Depp trial? I know a lot of people really like Isaac Baruch. He was super cool.
have been trying to get me on since literally I took one step out of the courtroom, so you got me finally.
Do you have my card still after I chased you
I think I
into
do.
the hallway?
Yeah, it's somewhere. Yeah.
All right. Well, yes, I've been wanting to get you on for some time, and when I handed you my card, you kind of gave me the skeptical look. So we're both in the news biz. You were in the news biz, so we kind of have that skeptical part of our personalities. But I want to know, since the trial and since you got so much attention, how have you been doing?
I've been doing fine. In all honesty, I'm I'm very much used to the press sort of rounds that happen after events like this because I've been on the other side of it for so long. So
Oh yeah, definitely, Dr. Curry, definitely. Does anyone know how old Spicy Draco is? He seems like maybe like late 20s, possibly.
I knew what to look for. I knew what the pitfalls were. So I think I did a pretty good job of keeping my head down as much as I could. I've been pretty public about the fact that I turned down a lot of like TV interviews and
Mhm.
just about every podcast imaginable. So
Oh man, I wonder how much money they're offering to do the interviews and stuff. Do you guys usually know how much money people get offered to do interviews and shit? He must have been offered some good money.
I just try to keep my head down, and yeah, I'll tweet and be snarky as one would be, but that'll be about it.
I've seen some of your tweets and I've seen the snark. I always appreciate good snark. I think most of us do. One of those things that I noticed you did was after Amber Heard's Dateline interview, in which that clip aired, in which she discussed how
Let me see. This is his. Is it been spicy? Oh my god. Oh no, I have to log in to see the rest. Boo!
randos came out, to testify and things like that. You changed your name on Twitter for a day or two to Rando, I think number 2, and I think Morgan Knight might have been Rando.
Wait, no way. Google says he's between 35. What? No way. Late 30. He does not look like late 30s. Hold on. Morgan. Oh my god, he looks so young. I think he looks younger than me.
Number 1.
Mhm.
So I'm assuming you guys got a kick out of that.
Well, I mean, it's just an interesting choice of words to have in her mind it be randos, but really all it means is credible witnesses that she didn't know about because that was one of the benefits of it being publicized. Is I really wouldn't have known that I had such a part in this if it hadn't been televised. So having seen those clips and when those 3 letters started coming up in the trial, and I started to realize, oh, I remember all of this.
TMZ.
Actually, I think I might be a part of this, and then realizing I very much am a part of this. So yeah, it's just in her mind it's randos, but really all it means is it's credible.
I wonder if he heard anything about the UK trial. Did you guys hear anything about the UK trial? 35 is young. Yeah, I guess like to me, when I think of young, I just think of like you're in your 20s. But yeah, I still think 30s is still pretty young as well. I don't know, because like once I'm in my 30s, I'm like, wait, I don't feel like a fucking adult. I feel like we're all still fucking children. With more responsibilities, of course. You're definitely right. He's an Edward Cullen.
Witnesses that she didn't
Right.
realize existed.
It really feels like there are about 1 million streaming services out there. But if you are looking for true crime founded by filmmakers and to have them, you can watch That We're Never has a lot of other content. Watch Amazon Fate. That's only yours. Crime. So /law and crime prompted you to come forward. It's my understanding from your testimony you contacted Johnny Depp's attorneys and said, hey, I know something about this. So what exactly was it in which that prompted you to just call them and say, I need to talk to you?
Well, I had started to see clips on TikTok.
Oh, you're in the UK. It was a sham. He was such a boss in the trial. Yeah, he's very well spoken. I only heard that the son won. She pulled a Gone Girl speech with her fake innocence. It's disgusting.
Once TMZ started getting into the mix of things, and I'd seen a couple clips of people talking about like, oh, TMZ is the smoking gun. Clearly, there's got to be something that they could say that would pop in on this. And then I slowly started to remember and feel like I was a part of this. I'm like, I kind of remember being there that night when we received the video. I remember in just what my work was at the time, having to be very much a part of sending cameras through. So there have been other times in the media where I feel very much
Damn, that's wild.
close to certain events that come up or certain stories just by virtue of having worked on them, and a lot of like big celebrity deaths and celebrity scandals and such. But with this one in particular, I remember seeing a TikTok in which someone felt like they had some kind of idea or evidence in some way, and they had recorded themselves sending an email to Camila. And I hadn't even thought of that as a possibility. And so then I started to think maybe I should just send her an email and just see if I can help in some way, because somebody's definitely lying in this based on my firsthand knowledge of this. So I had just sent an email, and it said, literally, it said that the subject line was like former TMZ employee. And I even had said, I'm sure you guys are already talking to other TMZ employees, as in just your due diligence of this case. And even so far as naming someone who I knew was very, very closely involved in the story at the time. And said, but if there's anything I can do to help, like I was there that night when we received this video, and maybe I can help clear some stuff up because it looks like someone's possibly lying. And then I received a phone call about an hour later. And as soon as I saw Camille's number come up on my caller ID, I knew I was in it too deep. I was probably going to have to testify, and it was too late to go back now.
Yeah, no turning back for sure. So it was Camille's cell or her office number, and it pops up, and okay.
Oh man, I wonder who was going through Camille's emails at the time, because Camille Vasquez and like the entire team, they must have been getting like tons of emails, not just people who were like, oh hey, I know something, probably like, oh hey, thank you so much for this, thank you for defending him, you're doing a great job, or just like fan mail stuff, right? So I wonder who's like going through all the emails and stuff. But for them to reply back in 1 hour, that's actually pretty fucking amazing.
It's his lawyers.
Yeah, it had been. I think it was maybe immediately after they had called it for the day, and then she had been checking her email and just called me straight away, and was basically like, "What are you doing next week?"
So it was during Amber Heard's case, I'm assuming, that you contacted her. If she's asking you, what are you doing?
It was about a week before I was up.
Wow.
It happened very, very quickly.
And she, I guess they flew you out. I would assume that's how that works.
Yes.
Yeah, because
I think the week that Spicy Draco came on, that was the week when they were doing rebuttals, right? If I remember correctly, it was like, I think like Dr. Curry, and then I think, was it Johnny Depp, Morgan Tremaine, and then it was also Morgan Knight, or sorry, maybe Morgan Knight first and then Morgan Tremaine. Right, I think they were in the middle of the rebuttals. So the week before was probably when Amber Heard's team were finishing up with like all of her and her kooky ass witnesses.
I mean, it would be silly to expect you to pay your own way. That would be crazy. So, what was it that you found? You seemed almost like you found it offensive that the video had been, the portion that had been sent to TMZ was the front end and then the back end. The back end where she was kind of, as many people felt, snickering, had been snipped off along with her setting up the camera. What was it about that you found kind of?
Oh man, that footage was just so fucking cringe. Like when she was like setting up the camera and stuff, when Johnny Depp was going off, and then towards the end she was like laughing. I don't know, that was just so fucking weird. I wonder how did they get the hands on the original? Was it Johnny Depp's team that finally got their hands on the original from her cell phone or something? Because that's like that's a huge like fuck up.
Offensive.
I wouldn't say I found it offensive.
Okay, well that was my interpretation. So I'm sorry. What was it about it that you didn't like, or that prompted you to reach out?
Well, I mean, it wasn't anything emotional. It was just the fact that it was essentially doctored. It was essentially edited for a particular purpose, I believe, and I think that was very clear to perhaps the jury. But yeah, it was edited in a way that made.
Yeah, because I think that video was, if I remember correctly, was leaked right when they were about to do their divorce settlement shit. And dude, the fact that it was leaked before, it was an obvious way where it's just like she was trying to gain control of the public view of Johnny Depp. Like, hey, this is how he's like behind the scenes. He's abusive towards these cabinets, and I was really scared. And this is how he really is. And this was her way of getting what she wanted during the divorce settlement. Yeah, because I think it came out right before they were doing the divorce shit.
Made it seem beneficial for one party more than the other.
And sorry, just interrupt. And it's just small stuff like this that would keep coming up during the trial that just really showed that, there's a lot of things that she did behind the scenes to really orchestrate, this picture that she was trying to paint, right? So I don't know. A lot of this stuff just made her look really, 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 really bad.
And I think that's fairly obvious. And all I did was state the facts that what we received was an edited portion of what was shown in court. And that's something that really anyone could have noticed at that point, but I just think nobody had. Because if you'd gone back and looked at the TMZ article and the video that was still up, it was shown as such. I think you might look at that and think, oh, maybe TMZ cut off the front and top of it. But my unique perspective was knowing that we did not edit that video.
And so when you looked at it and you saw that Amber Heard was actually the person who filmed the video, I mean, up until that point, when you saw it on the trial or TikTok or what have you, did you know that Amber was the one who filmed the video? Obviously, you said you knew you were dealing at the time with the copyright holder, which would be the person who owns the video and who shot the video. So did you know before you had seen that at trial
question.
that it was her who had sent in the video? Or
well, without saying too much, I will say it's very obvious watching the original video on TMZ.com who was taking the video.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Got it. So, I mean, were you surprised at the reaction to your testimony? Because obviously, You really had a presence about you. I don't know if you realize that, but you had a presence about you. And when you were on cross examination, there was a suggestion that you just kind of popped up out of nowhere to get your 15 minutes of fame. Um, you just told me you've turned down lots of interview requests and things like that from, news organizations, podcasts, etc. So,
What do you mean, like physically? I think if they're in a jail cell physically, I'm pretty sure AH would probably win. I don't know. Jodi Arias doesn't seem very strong. But like to be mentally fucked, like if you had to choose who you wanted to be as your friend, I don't know, man. You'd be mentally fucked by both of them. I can't tell you which one would be better.
people, I mean, I think we were all amused by it because you're like, whoa, he really like smacked Elaine down with that. Um,
Oh man, can I pivot for a second? I was watching Bruce Rivers and he was reacting to Elaine stepping down as the lawyer. And Bruce Rivers actually brought up something that I thought was really interesting. Yeah, ineffective counsel. Yeah, he thinks that the reason why they're letting go Elaine is because they're gonna throw her under the bus. I was like, oh damn, that is a fucking strategy right there. Because I think Elaine when she was doing the cross examination, or sorry, when Elaine did the re-examination after Camille's cross examination, she completely fucking bombed it. I don't know. I don't know if there's any questions that she could have asked that would have been like okay, but I remember her way of asking certain questions was just like objection, 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 and it was just like she couldn't get anything through. It was just really fucking crazy, and I was just like, holy shit, fucking Camille, god damn.
Some of the post-verdict motions, we can kind of glean what they're going to do because the juror issue will probably be an issue on appeal. The judge's rulings about keeping evidence out will be an issue on appeal. I guarantee you, Elaine's performance will be under scrutiny. That'll be an issue for appeal. The First Amendment, I just don't see it. I just don't see that she's got a First Amendment issue. The First Amendment, really talks about government action. That's your constitutional rights are protected from government action. So, for example, the Fourth Amendment right to against search and seizure, we don't have a Fourth Amendment right, against having your neighbor come in. It's really against the government coming in without a warrant.
Yeah, so he was saying like First Amendment is against the government, but not like against like other private parties and stuff. So I think he was talking about the Andrew Tate stuff as well, but yeah, it's just very interesting to hear like the lawyers.
What you have to do when you have an appeal is find what the errors were in the trial, okay? And so I guarantee you, one of the things they're going to do on appeal is they're going to go after Elaine for ineffective assistance of counsel. I would be shocked if they didn't do that.
Yeah, man. What do you think? You think Elaine's sweating right now? You think Elaine's? Oh man, I feel like she's like, oh god.
There were so many times where she just threw her hands up and she just got her ass handed to her, if we remember. And so the other thing is the First Amendment issue that that Amber Heard's activities were somehow protected by the First Amendment. I just don't see that happening because if you remember what the First Amendment is the right to free speech, right? But you don't have the right to any free speech. If what you're saying is false and you're defaming somebody, you don't have the right to just say what you want to say whenever you want to say it.
Anyway, so yeah, I thought his take on that was pretty interesting. I was like, oh fuck, man, I bet you Elaine knows. I bet you Elaine knows that it's coming for her. So we'll see what happens during the appeal.
And Johnny Depp even kind of seemed to snicker a little bit at your testimony or seemed to be amused by it. So what were your thoughts as you watched kind of people say things about you? I'm sure you became a couple of million TikTok videos or what have you. I mean, what were your thoughts?
I mean, I had no idea what was going on at the moment. I was such a ball of stress. I think it wasn't until maybe the next day that I started to realize that, I think people got a kick out of that. But I mean, really, it's just, I had no idea. When I was up there, all I knew was that they were out of time, Amber's side, so my cross was going to be very short. And I didn't know what they were going to ask. I knew they were going to object the entire time, and I knew that they were going to have a very short cross. I just didn't realize they were going to waste their time on it because, frankly, I could think of maybe 10 things they could have asked me.
Yeah, I think they use up so much of their time. Not only that when they're presenting their case, but then also during the closing arguments. Remember, I think closing arguments they only had like 4 minutes for like rebuttal or something like that. Really crazy. I don't know what's up with that time management.
It would have been legitimate, and instead they asked me. They tried to imply that I was in there for fame, which is just. I think anybody who knows me knows I'm not in it for that, and I have a lot of anxiety, and it took a lot for me to do that. It was basically like a full day of trying to psych myself up and talking to my psychiatrist and trying to figure out how I could possibly get through doing this because I just did not want that kind of attention.
So you were really stressed out about this.
Oh yeah, I cannot explain how much I did not want to do this, but it was like I said, as soon as I saw that name come up on my caller ID, I was like, I'm really involved in this, and I think I have a responsibility to speak up now, especially if counsel feels like this is something that they need.
Did you feel like when you were were you watching the actual trial streaming before you saw this TikTok and all of this other stuff?
I wasn't. I had just seen clips of it, and because I have a job, I'm busy, but
right. You have a regular life, right?
I had just seen clips of it, and even now there are clips that'll pop up of the trial that I've never seen and I didn't know about. So it was just a few days before I reached out when the TMZ of it started popping up.
When did you guys start watching the trial? Did you guys watch the trial from the very beginning, or did you start watching it like towards like the middle, towards like maybe like certain cross examinations and stuff? Your buddy got anxiety. It's no joke. He came across cool. He did. He kept his shit real fucking like, well, I don't know. I would have been like, because it's nerve wracking when you're on there, you know? You're surrounded by insanely smart people in their like legal professions, and you know, you're up there as a witness. And also, I think it gets really confusing on what's going on in the courtroom as well. Cause you know how they say like objection, you're like, wait, am I allowed to keep talking? Oh, no, you have to keep waiting. Okay. It's like really weird. Like if you don't understand like courtroom etiquette and stuff like that, yeah, it could be definitely nerve wracking. And then also there's like the people in the gallery, there's like cameras right there. So it is fucking woof. From the very beginning, from day one, beginning. I started watching when this guy Alsman did. He did the trial at wait, times 100. Oh, sorry. I thought you meant he was watching at like 100 times speed or something like that. Interesting. Okay, so you're like an Osmond Gold fan. Yeah, I started watching some of his videos because we were both covering the Amber Heard trial. His videos start popping on my feed as well. So yeah, I've been watching some of his videos. He's pretty entertaining. He was talking about how he was dry. He got food poisoning from eating pizza or some shit. Went to his friend's house, felt really sick, left. Driving in like his old ass fucking car, had no AC, was like over 100 degrees in Texas or some shit. Felt really sick, threw up on himself. It was like hot puke all over, and then like he realized he was out of gas, so he had to go to the gas station to pump up. And then like I don't know, it was just so fucking nasty. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna stop there because the story gets even more nastier, and I can't even verbally say it without wanting to throw up. So I'll leave it at that. But that was really funny. What were we doing again?
Yeah. And obviously TMZ hired a lawyer. They didn't want you testifying, I should say, not you guys.
Oh yeah, and then you guys brought this to my attention. The lawyer that they hired for TMZ, remember the guy that came out of nowhere and he was trying to get Morgan Tremaine to not testify? They were trying to like block him and stuff. He was actually a lawyer from Ballot Spar, the new law firm that Amber Heard is working with for her appeals. So yeah, nice catch on that one, guys. Because I was just like, yeah, I don't recognize.
But they didn't want you to testify. Obviously, they filed the wrong motion to intervene, which you know, we kind of thought that at the time. Why are they filing a motion to intervene?
Yeah, Judge Penny's like, how are you guys relevant in any way? Get out of here.
This was you not being
Respectfully,
compelled to
of course.
testify. This was you coming forward as an ex-employee testifying. So there's a difference there, I think, because you were willing to discuss it. What did you think of the things that Elaine was asking you? I mean, did you feel stressed out at the time when you were on cross? You said you were, you know, a ball of stress up there, or I mean, because you.
I don't know. Did you guys think Elaine did worse when she was cross-examining Dr. Curry when she was asking about the muffins? Or do you think she did a worse job when she was cross-examining Morgan Tremaine? Because Elaine had a couple of moments where she was doing her cross-examinations. It was like, where is she going with these questions? What is she doing? Oh man, I think it's okay for her to ask, you know, these witnesses that are coming out of nowhere, right? I think it's okay for her to ask, like, you know, questions like, oh, you know, maybe you're just doing it for like, you know, for fame or something. But the way that she asked it, it was just like, come on, you can do better than that. Because she kept asking that about every witness that popped up. Remember, there was a witness. I think her name she was the woman that witnessed Amber Heard and Tasha at the airport. And then Amber Heard's like, oh, you're just here because of 15 minutes of fame. And the lady's like, bro, come on. Like, I'm like sitting here in like a t-shirt, you know, like it doesn't look like I have like makeup all done and stuff. And like, she just looked like she was chilling, you know? It's not like she came on like television, hair and face all done, makeup glamorous and stuff, trying to get her fame. Like, she was just chilling. She was like, I'm just here to testify, bro. Are you board certified? Oh yeah, the board certified thing. Yeah. And then remember whenever Dr. Don Hughes or Dr. Spiegel came out, they're like, and I'm board certified. We're board certified. I thought it was absurd who kissed Amber on the cheek too hard. Wait, what? I don't remember that. Wait, what happened? Who kissed who on the cheek too hard?
Really, like, you really clapped back at her pretty hard.
Well, I mean,
oh, you're talking about Isaac? When Isaac like does like the kiss thing or something? I don't know. I was playing Elden Ring when I was listening to Isaac's testimony too.
like I've said it before, but I mean, it was bullying like anybody else. I've had to deal with that from people in power for a long time, so I'm used to dealing with that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the reflex of just having kind
Nice
of a
reflex.
rational response to it instead of just being bullied. So that's all it was. It was just bullying. So like I said, she could have asked me probably 10 legitimate things and chose to go that route. So
Do you
know,
want to share those with
I wasn't
us?
trying to. Not really. I think a lot of people there are plenty of things people could have asked to probably try to poke holes in what I was saying. But I'm not in the interest of doing their job for them.
Mm-hmm.
So they chose to.
Hey, I mean, like, it's true, you know. I bet you when Amber Heard and her team hit up Elaine was like, oh shit, big trial. Oh man, I can get my name out there. Because if you look at Elaine's history and what she's known for what is it called again? Employment I don't know if it's called employment law. She's more like an employment lawyer, where she'll represent people that are like employees and then like, you know, sue the company and stuff like that. I think that was like her bread and butter, and that's what she was known for. That's why she kept getting like, oh, top 50 lawyers or best lawyers in the area and stuff like that. Like that's what she was known for. Not like this whole like defamation shit, but yeah, Elaine was like, oh man, maybe I could get famous off of this. Oh, poor Elaine. Oh, Elaine was insinuating that Isaac's really? I don't remember that. I will have to look back at it again.
Short amount of cross time, they had to ask me some nonsensical questions, and that's their right.
Of course. And so did you notice during your testimony at all? I mean, were you just kind of looking at the lawyer asking you the questions at the time, whether it was Camille Vasquez or Elaine Bredehoft? Were you just kind of focused on that? Or did your eyes kind of meet with anybody else in the courtroom? I mean, you said you were a ball of stress. Did you see Amber Heard looking at you? I mean, what was going on?
Wait, if you guys were on the witness stand, testifying for Team Johnny Depp, would you even look at Amber Heard? I don't know. That seems scary as fuck. I'd be like, Amber who? Amber over there? Whoop, look this way. I don't know, man. I feel like her stares would just fucking cut you.
I don't think I might have looked over at Amber once, but mostly it was just, addressing whoever was asking me questions. I just tried to remain calm and just answer the questions. And anybody who says I did a good job up there, I just say it's easy when you're telling the truth. You're just answering questions. That's all it is. So I looked over to the jury a few times just out of curiosity, and seeing the person closest to the stand and knowing, oh, this is the guy that Amber keeps staring at in her testimony. I feel bad for this guy.
Like, oh, was it like, I think it was there was one of the jurors who was like in his 40s. He looked like he was like Asian Pacific or something like that. That people said that he looked like he was obviously already siding with Johnny Depp because he was more sympathetic towards Johnny Depp. I wonder if that's the guy he's talking about.
Okay. And because there was a
Right?
man.
Testimony, I feel bad for this guy. Just to the stand and knowing, oh, this is the guy that Amber keeps staring at in her testimony. I feel bad for this guy.
Okay. And because there was a man who came forward after the trial, a juror, who spoke to Good Morning America, and he was not on camera, but he apparently told them that they felt uncomfortable because she did look at them. I mean, she kind of talked to them when she was testifying. So,
Man, I don't know. I feel like even though the records of the jury information is going to be unsealed after a year, I feel like they should just keep it sealed forever. I don't know. I feel like they're going to get harassed by like the Amber Heard team or something like that. I don't know. I kind of worry for them, but hopefully they'll be okay. Elaine tried to point out that Dr. Kerr wasn't birth certified, and it took Dr. Kerr like 10 minutes to list the work she's done and was way more than Dr. Hughes and Dr. Spiegel's. Listen, we all know what happened. When Dr. Hughes went up and Dr. Spiegel went up, it was a complete shit show than when Dr. Curry went up. Dr. Kerr, I don't know. It was just something weird to like, how did they get so many batshit crazy witnesses on the stand? Not like I'm saying all of them are batshit crazy. There were some that are okay that were testifying for Amber Heard, but like some of their experts were like fucking like bonkers. Like, I don't know, like the difference in professionalism. Remember the one that was there to rebut against Dr. Spiegel? He was like really well spoken, quiet, really professional. You know, he was a doctor as well. And he was just like super cool, super chill guy. And he was there to rebut Dr. Spiegel, and Dr. Spiegel was like, it was just bizarre. Oh man. Oh gosh. Okay.
and our legal analyst had.
Oh yeah, Dr. Shaw. Yeah, Dr. Shaw was super chill, super cool. And then do you remember at the end of Dr. Shaw's cross testimony, Nadelhoff was like trying to press his buttons, but like it obviously wasn't working. And like I swear to God, Nadelhoff like huffed and puffed and like stormed away or something. I was like, that's so unnecessary. Dr. Shaw is super chill. What's wrong? Well, he looked like he was having, I don't know, he wasn't having it. Oh man.
Have remarked on that too, that it was kind of weird and uncomfortable, even though witnesses are.
Hold on, someone made a comparison that Dr. Spiegel looked like. They said Dr. Spiegel looked like Trev. Oh, is this Trevor? Trevor, right? Or Travis from fucking Grand Theft Auto. And I was like, I can't see it after that. I'm like, stop.
The objection misses, however, is that the rendering of expertise and or
just showing him storming off. I swear to God, he like huffed and puffed and stormed off a little bit.
Dr. Spiegel to testify in this case, correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I have nothing further.
All right, redirect.
He just looks like he's just pissed.
Kind of taught to look over at times. You know, you're not supposed to talk to the jury per se. Um,
Wait, was she throwing a jab at someone? I wonder who.
I want to go back to what you were saying. It's easy when you're telling the truth. Uh, the verdict in this case that the jury rendered was pretty sweeping. I mean, I think we just need to be honest about it. I've said many times, Johnny Depp ran the table. She got one count that almost seemed like a throwaway. So what, I guess I'm wondering,
I don't think I've ever heard that phrase before. Ran the table. Interesting. What does that mean?
what are your thoughts on just the aftermath and the reaction to it? And I say that because, there are so many people acting like the jury didn't get it right. I mean, social media is just, it's like the Thunderdome every day, people talking about this stuff. So what are your thoughts on the reaction to it?
They did, and it seems so immature. I don't know, man. It was so fucking weird to see grown men doing that.
You mean on the verdict itself? You're talking about the
Yes.
reaction to the verdict, like the social media reaction to the verdict?
Yes.
I don't know. How would you classify the reaction on social media to the verdict exactly?
Well, I feel like there's been, I don't know if you feel like this, but I feel like there has been, obviously Johnny Depp's supporters support him, and there have been celebrities who've come out and supported him. But then there's been, I don't know what the accounts are. A lot of them are anonymous, some not so much. Some are people who have put their own names out there, saying that Amber, or contending that Amber was wronged, and that Johnny Depp basically, his team just put on a show and wooed the jury with his celebrity and things like that. So I actually saw a tweet just recently from the Women's March, and they said some pretty terrible things about Johnny Depp and some other men. And so I'm just kind of wondering what you've thought of that reaction.
Well, I think by the time the verdict came out, everyone had already decided, had some sort of picked a side, and had felt like no matter what the verdict is, I'm already on team, hashtag Team Amber or hashtag Team Johnny. But for me, this was never anything political. It was.
Yeah, it was. I think what really sealed the case was after her testimony. After when she testified, it was just like, oh man, I don't know how she can win from this. I don't know how she. I feel like the only way she can make a comeback if she actually had like legit fucking evidence, like of a video of like stuff that like she alleged she was doing to her. But yeah, there is no coming back after her testimony. Her testimony is the one that really fucked everything up.
It's just about telling the truth. So I know that it's been used, it's been politicized in a way, and I think it's up to people if they want to use this in that way. But I think at the end of the day, it should be looked at as just a singular court case and probably nothing more than that.
How are you doing now after all of this? I mean, just kind of looking back, it's been, more than 2 months now since the verdict. Have the calls for you calmed down? I mean, what's gone on?
I mean, nothing in my life has really changed. It's like occasionally getting recognized at bars, things like that. And the weirdest thing is just I'll tweet things and it'll end up as news articles. That's kind of the weirdest thing.
Where does he? I feel like he's an Austin person. Does he live in Austin? Is he in Austin, Texas?
But I think I've worked in the media and been a reporter for a long time and understood how that works, and the fact that at any point whatever you say online can be used against you or put on blast in ways like that. So I've conducted myself in a
Yeah, she should have conceded on the donation thing. She should have been like, you know what? Yeah, I fucked up. She should have just conceded. I don't know why she was pushing so hard. Oh, but you know what? You know what was really bad? It was when they played the audio tapes, and then it was her excuses for it. It was like, how dumb do you think we are? Yeah, it was pretty bad too.
professional way online for a long time. So not much of my life has changed in any real way.
Hmm. And I noticed too, I thought it was really cool that didn't you hold a fundraiser on your Twitch channel?
I did, yeah. I've immediately when I got a lot of attention, I noticed a lot of social media coming up that said, oh, you know what? I don't really want to. I think I've frustrated a lot of friends of mine who work in the media who have said, oh, you got to strike while the iron's hot and try to get like a show or do something. And not everyone wants to be the next Ryan Seacrest, and I frankly don't want to. So I just try to use it for charity. I'm friends with people who own a couple charities.
Where is
and just
Ryan
try to use that
Seacrest now?
for good.
He's
in any
doing
way I
like
can.
producing shit.
I think that's really nice. Do you want to name those charities that you held those fundraisers for?
Sure. So I work in the video game industry, and I work really closely with this one called Stack Up, which uses video games to combat veteran suicide and promote positive mental health in active military. So what they do is they send care packages of video games
really
and consoles to veterans that are struggling, and then also to active military to keep them occupied while they're deployed. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's really amazing, Morgan. That's really cool that you do that, and that you did that.
Yeah, I was reading this book that my friend recommended me. It was about complex PTSD, and it's just so wild and crazy to hear how fucked veterans get. It's like, oh, hey, you're serving the war, and then afterwards, it's like, okay, you're on your fucking own. I don't know. Like, I was reading about it was like during like the 70s, 80s, 90s, like even now. It's just really sad. You talk super fast. Oh, I sped the video up a little bit. The video's at 1.25 speed.
I'm kind of taken aback by that. That's really sweet. Is that something that's near and dear to your heart, or just you have empathy for people who are struggling with that?
Well, I grew up a lot of my childhood was spent in San Diego, and you see a lot of homeless veterans in the streets, and it's something that's very very obvious as you walk down the street. And then you have friends who've joined the military and come back, and my mom worked with veterans to help them get out, the ones who had really aggressive PTSD and couldn't handle it anymore. So it
Aw.
is something that I both have seen the mental health struggles of being deployed and coming back, and I understand very much the positive mental health that video games can render on somebody. So I think
No, who is that? I don't think I've heard of them before. Maybe I have.
it's a great charity in that
Really
way.
bad with
And
recognizing names.
I'm also going to be working with Gamers Outreach, which is another gaming focused company which sends essentially gaming packages sort of on rolling devices to children's hospitals, as well as build
Aw.
gaming rooms in children's hospitals.
Oh, that's really nice. That's really nice. Wow. So, Morgan, I want to go back to just, your time at TMZ. You also dispatched the camera crew to the courthouse on May 27th, 2016, when Amber Heard was filing
Oh man, that part of the testimony was so embarrassing for her.
for her TRO against Johnny Depp. Is there anything you wanted to share with us about that? Or
I thought that you used this from the duplicate photo saying there were two separate fights. Oh, you're talking about the wine photo? Yeah, she fucked up there. It was like the spilled wine photo, but it was like different angles. I think she used it for the December 15 argument, and then she also used it for the cell phone argument as well. Yeah, that was not good as well. Yeah, there was a lot of stuff like that. But yeah.
was that something that you thought you would be asked about?
I asked about as far as
Like at the trial, did you were contacting them about the kitchen cabinet video, but did you think that would become relevant as well?
yeah, probably. I mean, it's always a saga when it comes to media coverage of these things, especially when you're working. Different sides of this coin. There's always a lot of articles to be had around these proceedings, and
Oh,
you
what?
can go
7
months long worth
years.
of coverage and get a lot of articles out of it. So you're always working a lot of, and
sorry.
you can go coin. There's always when you're working. Different sides of this coin. There's always a lot of articles to be had around these proceedings, and you can go months long worth of coverage and get a lot of articles out of it. So you're always working a lot of different stories over the time. And yeah, so I knew that there were different times in which, trying to choose my words carefully, and other times in which we had covered this story in a way that would be relevant to this case.
And is there anything you want to share about that? I mean, looking back on that, I mean, it was probably just another story. It was another day in your life in the news business when that happened. But then looking back on it now, do you have any thoughts about that day or what was shown to the public?
It was very much like a day like any other, frankly.
Yeah.
That's sort of what it's like inside of that building. It's just it's a lot of stories like that, a lot of chasing leads, and a lot of sending people to places to get things. I mean, that's just the job.
hmm Have you heard from Johnny Depp or from Amber Heard since your testimony?
Maybe from Amber Heard. Oh, let me get some water really quick.
I have not.
Okay, I wouldn't expect that you would have, but I
I
feel
wouldn't
like I had
expect so
to
either.
ask.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
people have said like, "Oh,
I
Johnny
don't know.
Depp
Email from Amber. F you, bish.
put you in one of his movies or something." Like, no, he doesn't. He wants to put all this behind him as fast as humanly possible. I guarantee you.
Yeah, I think so. I think that was
Yeah, I
really
wouldn't blame him
apparent.
for not wanting to see anyone's face who was involved in this ever again.
Well, Morgan Tremaine, a former TMZ employee and somebody who a lot of people liked hearing from during the Depp v. Heard trial. Thanks so much for coming on. We really appreciate it. We're so glad you agreed to do it, and we wish you the very best.
Thanks so much.
And that's it for this edition of Law and Crime Sidebar Podcast. It is produced by Sam Goldberg and Michael Deininger. Bobby Zoki is our YouTube manager. Alyssa Fisher handles our bookings. And Kiera Bronson does our social media. You can listen to Sidebar on Apple, Spotify, Google, and wherever else you get your podcasts. And of course, as always, you can watch it on Law and Crime's YouTube channel. I'm Anjanette Levy, and we will see you next time.
Oh yeah, I heard Johnny Depp was going to what's it called? This. Whatever this is. Johnny Depp MTV's calling surprise gig in the works. You guys hear about this? He's gonna be like the Moon Man for the MTV thing or something like that. Johnny Depp has played many roles, but never a Moon Man. That's all going to change at the upcoming MTV Music Video Awards. Does anyone even watch MTV anymore? MTV to me was like something of the 90s and like the thousands. But yeah, dude, I don't even watch anything with MTV. Probably because I don't have cable. VMA production sources tell TMZ Depp's been in talks with the show producer dressed up as the network's famous Moon Man, recently dubbed the Moon Person, and show face is important during the awards broadcast in August. Oh shit, that's like 3 days. Shit, 3 days from now. The surprise appearance comes on the heels of both the recent announcement of Johnny Depp's return to film, as well as his new deal with Dior. Oh yeah, I heard they renewed his Dior sponsorship thing. Very fucking cool. Have you guys actually smelled the Dior Sauvage? I don't really like perfume or cologne. It gives me a fucking headache, but I want to smell it. I want to see what it smells like. Sauvage. Well, good for him. Oh, this is from 2012. Oh, Edward Scissorhands. Such a good movie, but so sad. A sad movie. Oh, fuck.
Everybody, we're about to embark on quite a journey.
Get in.
But when it's over, we'll have a picture that'll entertain.
I tried to watch Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, and it's a very hard movie to watch. I don't know. It's a little too crazy for me. I'm gonna have to give it another chance, but I tried watching it. It was fucking nuts. I was like, this is too crazy. I don't know if I can deal with this. But they showed this movie right here. It's actually super fucking underrated. I really like this movie. It's called Neverland, and that's Kate Winslet right there. But he's supposedly the creator of Peter Pan in this movie. So such a good movie. I loved it. Same Fear and Loathing lost me so many times. Yeah, I don't know. I want to watch it, but every time I try to watch it, I'm just like, bro, I can't handle this. I don't know. Oh, this one is so good. The drug movie one. Fuck, was that Blow? Damn, man. Johnny Depp with those fucking sideburns, though. I don't know if I recognize. Oh, Mordecai. Actually, I wasn't a huge fan of this one. This one was okay. It was alright. It was like a cute movie, but it was alright. Oh my god, young Johnny Depp. Holy fucking shit. Blow was good. Yeah, Blow's fantastic. Hey, Joe, how are you doing today? How's it going? Have I seen the cell phone footage of the Johnny and the French movie that he just filmed? No, I did not. Are you talking about Louis the 14 or was it Louis? Shit, it's Louis the something. I don't know which one. Johnny Depp back with Dior, new 7-figure deal. Sheesh. Have you guys seen the Dior Sauvage advertisements? They're pretty fucking cool. If there's any big doubts, if there are any doubts, big names to get behind JD again, following his legal battle over lay them to rest. Dior is betting big on JD with a new contract. Sources directly connected to TMZ told TMZ that Johnny just signed back with Dior to the face of Sauvage's men sent. Multi-year deal worth 7 figures. Yeah, good for him. Yeah, and the cool thing about the Dior commercials, he plays music and stuff, so it's pretty cool how he gets to do what he enjoys to do and like put it in his advertisements and stuff. So pretty fucking cool. Yeah, if you guys haven't seen it, go watch it. I made like a little mini video about it because when Johnny Depp's sister testified, Christy Dombrowski, she was like, yeah, you know, when Johnny Depp got a deal, or sorry, when Dior reached out to him saying they wanted him to be the face of it, Amber Heard was like, oh, why you? Ew, like you're like old and you're not even like, you know, you don't have style or something like that. Oh, what else do we got in the works? How are you? How's everyone?